sheet of income that was sent to us. We have it here now. There was an update by Nasinu, and the income for 22 to 23 rose from 39 to 46. There was also an adjustment to the income from Wesley City Mission from 2257 to 320,000. The difference was 62,900, and Nasino was 6,500. For Lamy Oceania it was 29,000, and for Pacific Harbour it remains the same. I think there was a change because of the project money that they had omitted, but they've included that, and that's the total down to 23,606. Now the budget was then shared like this. All the figures that you saw on that sheet, can you see that now? Yeah. Okay. So we have the figures for 2022, 2023. I'm taking Wesley as an example because we have the figures in for Wesley. But when we work the divisional budget, we will work in the other three circuits. And so what happens is this goes into the big budget here. By church, it's factored in here. These figures are actually pulled from the earlier sheet that you saw, and these expenses are picked up from here, but they don't relate. The expenses should really come from you as well. What are the expenses for 22 March 22 to March 2023? And and that goes up here, but it's not really necessary for our purpose because this is only to calculate the share of levies. So when we put that figure in there, we are able to work out the shares over here. And this is how the shares are calculated. So based on the 2022-2023 income levels, these are the shares: 74.96, 6.79, 10.81, and 7.44. Now, you'll notice that I had mentioned rebate in the email I sent you. So let's say you had paid 10%, whatever that figure was, and your share is 6.79%. Now that we have the income, and that 10% may have been worked out on a figure that was projected, and it could have been, say, this is for example, $7,000. And then when you come to the actual, you have your share is, let's say that's $37,000. And take Lamy for, I think Lamy is 29.33. You actually have paid more. And that's why we needed the actual figures, we needed the actual income figures so we can calculate the actual percentage. I think the percentage sharing that was going on was in the circuit, Wesley circuit, it was it 15 or 13 and something? That was how the...
63.
Sorry?
63, 15, 13, 9.
63?
15, 13, 9.
So that's the percentage. Now you look at that percentage. That's the actual. That's how it should have been. So now you can then work out the difference. But then these percentages would have been based on the budget for 2022, 2023. So if your budget for 2022, 2023, let's take Wesley's, was 63%, and just for explanation, they were to pay 60,000. Let me just see what I don't have this has to go into the budget up there so that we can see. We've got the percentage here. What anyone knows what the budget was for 2023, sorry. The budget we had last year was this one. Okay, the second budget. We had budgeted for the circuit 112,000. Thought it was 113,000, it's going down. 112,292. That was the total budget. So you would have applied this to these calculations, to these percentages. Eh?
No. That percentage was, when Billy was here, we used it based on 95,000. That was budgeted in February of 2022, before going to 23.
February?
Before we went to the new financial year 2023,
Yeah.
on which is April 2022.
Okay.
We did the budget that was approved on February 22 for 2023-24 budget, 22-23 budget.
Okay. So we have we will adjust that. Let's just put the years here. 2022, 2023, 2021, 22, and 2020, 21, 2019, 20, 25. And then 2021, 21, 22, it was 73,800.
Yeah.
And never changed again. 7,300. Same thing here. Okay, so it's been the same for 4 years, and the fifth year is that much. Okay, so now that you have these figures, we take the percentage. You take the percentage that's there, the shares, at 74, but you would have allocated not this figure, so you can take that off. It would be that one. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. But now that you have the actuals, you have the proper sharing, the shares now, you will follow this one, and it's 74.96 over here, 74.96, and who was 15? Lami was 15. This is Lami Nasinu Wesley. So Lami would take 6.79, 10.81, Nasinu, and 7.44 is Pacific Harbour. So you can clearly see here, there's a rebate here, there's a rebate here, there's a rebate here, and over here, the adjustment here all goes here. All clear? So that's how it's done. So we need to work this out. But now we have the figures for this year. We apply the same principle, and then we work out actually what should be done. So if let's say Wesley's contribution based on this was 10,000, and Lami's contribution was 1,000, and Nasinu was 800, and Pacific Harbour was 600. Then based on this, now that we have the income levels in now, we have to calculate it based on this percentage, and if it is 12,000, this will be lesser. Yeah, 800, and this is 700, and this is 500. The difference, 100, 100, 200, 2,000. Except this 2,000 will be in brackets, and these are rebates. You got your treasurers. So that's how we work it. And so we need to clean up the books. That way, when that's done, any questions? Is it clear?
Or would it be based on the 93 or would it be based on the new projected forecasted expenses, actual? Because that was the 93 was the budget before we came on board. That is the money that we were told to pay.
Okay. If you the thing is, with this also, you may have had, unforecast expenses that came in. So you might have had this budget, but then you had an event that came in, and you couldn't do anything about it. So that would be an extraordinary item that would have come in here, and that event would have been done. Whatever the cost associated with that event, let's say it was $3,000, then this will go up to 92,305. Then you look at your actuals, because that 2,000 will be part of your actuals. So if your actual expenses was, say, $100,000,
100,000. And that 100,000 will be still allocated this way. You get it?
So whatever the ones
Yeah.
comes in.
So it can be 100,000 or it can be even 85,000, whatever that is. But that 85,000 will include that 2,000.
Because when we did the 90,000, they was all approved at the leaders and the division on the amount. Now, the constitution we just read, that says that anything that's not coming to mind, come back to the executive for approval, then we just distribute it using this percentage.
The percentage, yeah. So we bring it back in, we approve it, make the adjustment, and we move forward. That's clear. So the same will apply in Nerau. Same will apply in Napoca and North Wesley. We're all on one same platform. So when we come to the division, it's easy to do the same thing. I hope it's clear. Terali, it's clear to you? Okay. Anyone that has any questions?
So what if we can't afford? I mean, just look for question.
If in the case, like when we're talking about actuals now, so if we're talking about actuals, we have afforded it already. So it's just a matter of, because if we get the actuals in, then the actuals replace this. So whatever the actuals are, you have afforded it already. It's not a question of you can't afford it. You've already.
No, I mean in the church, not the church.
Yeah.
Because, like we did our projected income for Wesley Church, as 300. So we pay on a 60/30/10. 60 is for all evangelism, which include levy as well. 30 is for administrative costs. So when we project our income of 300,000, we got, according to what we've done for you, we've come up with about 114,000. Or around about that. So, because we are dependent on the free will offering of people coming. I mean, just in case, I mean, we know that our income is going up that way, but what if it goes flat and then we forfeit and we can't pay away? That's the thing that we think about, because, you know, Wesley will take a big chunk. We've been only paying, this one year, we'll be paying 74,000. It's a growth from 60,000 over to 74,000. And we've started this budget for around, I think it's going to go up by this new rate, might go up to 80,000, but we are budgeted for 72,000. We have a shortfall of 3,000.
Well, we can anticipate an inflation of 6% because of the rep that has just come in. So, what you're saying right here is that's your projection, eh?
Yeah.
That's 60, 30, 10.
No, that's how we use it as a budget.
Yeah. That's
On the
like-
total income we will offer that we get, we break it into 60 goes to evangelism work, which is including our levies.
What you're saying is this 100, 1,000, 600 goes to that 60%, 300 goes there, 100 goes there.
For our reserve funds.
Yeah, 10%. That's, you're saying. It won't really be affected by this because this has already taken place. It has already taken place. You've already expended it. All this is trying to do is apply the truth to all that has come in. And according to the strength of each church financially. And that will change. As the seasons change, income levels change, and we hope for the best, more of our, members come
It's
to
a
work.
big walk.
It's a big walk, just go on.
I guess what the lecturer was trying to share, Dr. Angas,
Mm.
is like in our leaders meeting,
Mm.
when requests come in, because our allocation to the second division is gone, we got only this much that lecturer has to divide into 60 and 40. And when we make our request, and he usually tells us because of our contribution to the thing, we just got this much to play with. But I guess we can be creative. We can fundraise.
What we've done, our based on this one, we've got 17,000 goes to you, so we have to share 42,000. Our ministry's budget is 65,000.
Mm.
So we've been telling our ministries, we let go on use basis. We can't really accept everything in terms, because sometimes the ministries, they come with a nice budget, but they always do half of it. So I told them, no, you have to, on the expense line, they will come with the expense line, but some of you just not to pay. If it's, so we put it like when it comes to your activities, we'll just allocate 20% for food, not 50%. We have to work smart on that part.
Yeah.
We reduce the budget to, right now, they're thinking that, because they presented the budget of 14,000, they'll get the 14,000. I say no, because we have a ceiling that we have to, our priority is paying the division levy. Everybody, all the ministries will share 45,000 which is left. So if one takes 20,000, then we just take only half. So we just have to work smart along the line. And so what we've done in church, in Westminster, we would say, look, we're gonna use spaces and on a zero-based budget. So you have to really tell us exactly what you pay. Don't give us your 2,000, tell us what the breakdown is.
Yeah, and I think a principle that we should be mindful of is, remember, the fixed expenses, those are the ones you cater for first. The variables, you can always adjust them, but the fixed expenses is what you need to take care of. You don't pay the electricity, what happens?
Yes,
That's all.
So that's where our 30% sits.
Yeah.
That's a fixed and plus the levy sits.
Yeah.
The rest is all variable.
And also what we need to look at is not only, look at fixed expenses, but look at the use of the assets. Like sometimes I can understand why electricity is turned on in the toilets, why air conditions are turned on in the office, nobody there. We need to be good stewards, and this is all going to be part of the training that we are doing.
Yeah, we've been praying for lecturer to have a kind heart and trust God. And they say yes, and God will provide. Don't worry about your budget.
But you all understand this, eh? You all understand. So, if you have some kind of financial strategy like this, we can work it into what I've explained. Very straightforward, very simple. We can work that financial strategy into it as well. I think one time we spoke about like here, 10, 10, 10, and 70. That we had a talk up there, training. We said, okay, 70% stays in the local church. 10% goes to the circuit. 10% goes to the division. 10% to the conference. And the division administers this too. So if you get $1,000, $700 is for the church to administer, local churches, and 100 for the circuit, division, and the. So what if there's not enough? Just live within your means.
But there are innovative ways.
Yeah. Totally, that concept is really great because we would have our Sunday school kids as well.
Yeah.
If they give $1, at least for say $60 to 30% is going for running with the church and paying for the light, and 10% is reserved for using yourself and stuff.
Can I pick a team now that we will look at this? That's the end of the clock there, very fast.
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Just a theme that we can sit down and we'll brainstorm this, these two concepts here, and we see how they will work best for everyone.
What about we just accept the percentage and all
Yeah.
agree?
The percentage that we have now, that
Total, the percentage.
is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
74.
is based on, this one's on this one. That's based on 22, 23. So this is the percentage. That's the actual that will be applied.
Or 23, 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
22, 23. The 23, 24 that's going now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this percentage is for the, this is for this year, sorry, this year. 23,
24.
24, this is for 22, 23, this is for 21, 22, that one, that one.
I see if we were to set a budget in the March quarter, we would be able to use that.
We have already the budget for 23, 24.
Mm.
And that budget is here. That's for the division. The division is 57,501. Conference levy 24,780. So the division is 82,281. The circuit, Wesley circuit is 112,292. Put them together, it's 194,573. So the circuit pays that to the division, the local churches pay to the circuit.
The division levy is what all the 4 divisions would pay.
Yeah.
Circuits.
And it's only this, the only reason why it's this high, we've already been told, is because of the baker. But we thank God we've been able to get a good deal on the baker. We're no longer paying, the 89, it's actually nearly $80,000, but we've got a good deal for $64,000. So
that will adjust things down.
so that will adjust it down, it will go down. Any questions? Any more questions? 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes?
When we pay 74%, it covers all this. It covers.
All clear?
Yeah, I think total just for the percentage that is given, or in terms of allocation, I think that will reduce further once
reduce.
the Rawa
Yeah.
circuit
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
All 4 circuits.
When they come in, all of that, the way this is done is 30% of the vehicle cost is allocated to the division. 70% is within the circuit, Wesley circuit. And so after this financial year, that will even go down further. So you might come back to the 90,000 or 80,000 or something.
No. Doctor, sorry. Because we are amortizing the vehicle over 5 years.
Yes, yes.
So that will come down further because we are allocating 64 per year. So for the next 4 years, the amortization will come down even further. Because we spreading it.
Yes.
And the thing is, please, if I'm not around, sell that vehicle when it's time to sell it. Don't hold on to it. Like if you, like in Ramsons, they said, I said, what if I work this vehicle up to 80,000 kilometers and I traded it in? And he said, if you trade it in, you can get $40,000.
The timing.
Yeah. So if you put it on the market, you can get a better resale. So it's a good resale value vehicle. And I think that's the other thing that we need to think about. When we're buying assets, we buy assets that has a good resaleable value.
Yeah,
Don't
mas-
just bulbul about Italia and then you find out like the van we got. We got 4,000 or 3,000 for it. So being wise, be good stewards in that sense. Otherwise we'll be being wise and pound foolish.
You just have a policy like when it goes above 100,
Yeah.
sell it, resell it, 80.
So I'm thinking like 80,000. I'm thinking of the divisional superintendent, traveling to the north from number one, you will know the kilometers, right to Kasabu, and if he crosses to go to Tabiluni, come back here, Lemuka, back to. So the vehicle is built for that as well. Okay, I hope, so can we just choose a small team to try and, Arietta? Elaine,
Tirana.
These are all finance gains.
Yeah, finance gain.
So he's an ex-accountant for Williams and Gosling, Arietta, and Jack.
No,
He's the glue. Jackson is the glue.
You can,
Yeah, the glue that keeps
when
one.
somebody's different, so servers you can do almost this thing,
yeah,
then somebody was different.
so you can do the difference.
Tell her now, easily.
Yeah. And Tirana can be with you as well. If you need me, I'm most come and be with you. But like I said, I want to give this thing over to you. You go with it. When you need help, just please say you need help.
How about Lemba? Lemba. Jago kayak gitu. Rico